Piece of cake. Okay, I'm going to go with a few people did. So our next act is Jerry. Jerry is famous for two things, maybe others, but the two things he's told me about were he won a unicycle race at New Wine, how many years ago? Years and years ago. Graham Kendrick was still leading the youth venue. Yeah. And another thing he's famous for, and this one is impressive and sort of makes that t-shirt make sense. If you haven't read the t-shirt, try and do it. He is famous for having sailed a sinking yacht across the channel. I mean, round of applause, because he's here to tell the story. So it clearly didn't end badly. But over to you, Jerry. Make us laugh.
Thank you very much. It's been a brilliant evening so far. So it's going to go downhill for a little bit because I have never actually done stand-up comedy before, and furthermore, I know that I cannot tell jokes. So this is stand-up comedy without jokes. So, this is managing expectations. Okay. But I thought if I'm going to give this thing a go, that New Wine or Spring Harvest or wherever we are, this is the place to do it. Because you're all such nice people, right? Yeah. Excellent. And I know a lot of you are Anglicans, and I know that Anglicans are really nice people. You know that for roughly 500 years, Anglicans have been sharing the gospel a bit, inoffensively, and with a slight air of superiority. So, well done, you Anglicans. I'm one of them, so that's why I can say these things. And there are three things that you might want to know about me. You probably don't, but I'm going to tell you anyway. And the first is that, I'm kind of into sailing. So I've got a boat, a small boat. There's enough space for 5 people if you're really good friends. Otherwise 3. Otherwise 1. And it's called Lucy. And my wife calls her my other woman, because I go down and spend a weekend with Lucy scrubbing her bottom. She's jealous, but she needs anti-fouling once a year. That's Lucy, not Sue. So it's been great, as someone that's keen about sailing, great to have all this worship music at New Wine about storms and anchors and lighthouses and all those kind of beautiful sailing analogies. So that's great, but I'm really worried that there's a basic safety issue here. So here's something really important, really serious. If there's one thing that you remember from this, if you want to learn sailing, please don't learn your seamanship from worship songs. It's really important. So if you're in a storm, you really don't want a rock. Trust me, they're nasty, swirling, horrible things. And what about my lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. Now, there are 2 big problems with that. One, the lighthouse is fixed. It doesn't move. You can't follow a lighthouse. And 2, what a lighthouse is built on, right? They're built on a rock. Not a good idea. So not a good song for seamanship. And then there's the in every high and stormy gale, my anchor holds within the veil. Now, I've never actually tried to anchor within the veil. I'm not quite sure how that works, but I can tell you if you're trying to drop the anchor in a storm, see what happens is the anchor chain gets very tight, very taut, and when a big wave comes up, it pulls the bow of your boat down under the wave. Not a good idea to anchor in a storm. Now you might maybe get away with it. You could use a sea anchor, which is a little drogue, a little parachute thing, set that out along the sort of front of the boat, and it slows you down. So what happens is you are kind of going slowly backwards, so probably in the wrong direction. But I don't quite, your love is my anchor. It enables me to go slowly backwards. It just doesn't quite ring. So I thought what we would do is have more nautically accurate worship songs, and I thought I'd start to write a new nautically accurate, more seamanship kind of worship song And I thought I'd try it out on you guys because you know you can kind of test it and help me develop this. So here we go. My chart plotter. My chart plotter is the kind of screen that has the chart on it and where the boat is and the tides and all that kind of stuff. My chart plotter. I haven't done the music yet. This is just the lyrics. My chart plotter. Shining in the darkness, I will follow you to the next waypoint. The next bit, I like this bit because I'm including Isaiah at this point, so you know, note this. Okay, next line. And you will tell me the extent to which I have deviated to the left or the right of the way that you have set to me. To the nearest tenth of a nautical mile. So, okay, it doesn't scan completely, but you know, I'm working on it. Now, I haven't got any PowerPoint slides, so I've just got T-shirts. And the second thing that I wanted to say is about girls. I spent a lifetime trying to understand kind of female psyche. It's been a long journey, my wife would say an unfinished journey, and I want to say that the first time I tried to win the favour of a girl was when I was probably 11 or 12, and I was at boarding school, and there was a craze on pet rats. And I had a couple of pet rats, and I named my favourite rat after this girl I fancied called Fiona. And I had in my mind, I had this kind of conversation going through my mind where I said, you know, nonchalantly, by the way, I've named my favourite rat after you. And I imagine Fiona would say, oh, Jeremy, that's so sweet. I love you forever. Only it didn't happen. And let me tell you, you know, for any young guys out there, it doesn't work. That method of winning a girl's love just doesn't work. And I don't know why rats are sweet. I had two. I kept them down my jumper. That's the rat, not the girl, Fiona. And I, you know, it just didn't work. Now I was going to tell you, you know, bring things up to date and tell you what it's been like after 16 years of having one or more teenage girls in my house. However, I was told at the beginning of this it's a family show, and so I need to skip over that bit, and I'm just going to go on to the third bit, the thing that you might want to learn about me, which is about Palestine, and you probably have to see the back of this t-shirt. This is the Stars and Bucks cafe shop in Ramallah. I've had a call to Palestine, and in fact, it's been an amazing experience. New Wine 2004. Because of New Wine 2004, I planted a business in Bethlehem in order to build hope and transcend the war. And nearly went busted in 2013, and Gond intervened, and now grew 250% last year. There are 90 staff, which is not funny, but it's been a great experience. But one of the benefits of this business, called Transcend in Bethlehem, is that it builds capacity. It's good development jargon. People come away from our company when they move to a different company with a better understanding of English and a better understanding of Western customer care. You see, Middle Eastern customer care is really about the word inshallah sums it up, inshallah, which means something like if God wills it. And the way it works, I was brought up in Kuwait, so I got kind of used to this. The way it works is you go into a shop and order something, and then you say, when's it going to be here? Will it be here next week? And the response is, Mr. Jerry, for sure, inshallah. And you go back next week, and it's not there. But the great thing is, it's not the shopkeeper's fault that it's not there, because God didn't will it to be there. And I thought this could be quite a useful thing for vicars, for ministers to use this phrase. You know, can you imagine it? So, you know, vicar, will the heating be working next week? Yeah, for sure, inshallah. Or can we have Book of Common Prayer? For sure, inshallah. So there's the thoughts. You have been a very nice audience, and do Google my book, Travels with Inflatable Elephants. Will I do stand-up comedy again? Inshallah. My name's Jerry Marshall. Have a good evening.